Why do you say that? Asked Pierre. Well, I take firewood or flutter. I can tell you what. All the way back from Slendy, you aren't dare land on twig or a wisp of hay. Anything at all. We are in retreat, you see. So he is going to get the lot. Isn't he right, sir? He is turning to his prince, but no, for us it was hands off. In our regiment, 2 officers were court for things like that. Well, ever since Serene Highness has been in charge, it's been all dead simple. Serendipity, I call it. But why had he been forbidding it? He looked around in embarrassment, not knowing how to respond to a question like that. Pierre turned to Prince Andre and asked him the same thing. So why not a ravage to the country we're leaving behind for the enemy? I never allowed pillage or your men get used to the looting. Oh yes, he was right about him as well. The judgment that the French might outflank us and they were so much stronger, but the French might outflank us. They were so much stronger, but what they could see is not us. Was this? Prince Andre yelled in a grown voice. Suddenly, as he has lost control, he just could not see just for a second. As if he lost control. He just could not see for the first time ever. We were fighting for the Russian soul, and there was a kind of spirit in the men I've never seen before. And we held them off for 2 whole days. And the success of it had made us 10 times stronger, but he ordered a retreat, and all of efforts and all our losses went for nothing. He had no thought of teaching, and he was trying to do everything in his best possible way as he could think. Now precisely because he thinks things through very carefully as a matter of the principle. As the benefit says with German, how can I put it? Let's say your father has a German valet, and he's a first-rate valet. Let's say you're fallen from who falls. He needs it better than you could. Let him carry on the good work. But if your father falls and takes the deathbed, you'll send the valet packing and looking after your father yourself with your own clumsy hands, and they're not father falls ill and takes his deathbed. You'll see him valet packing and looking after your father himself with your own clumsy hands, not used to doing things, and you'll bring him more comfort than any stranger, however skilled that. What we've done with Barclay. However, the Russians were doing well. She could be served by a stranger, and an excellent minister he was too. But the moment she's in danger, she needs her own flesh and blood. So your people at the club have now down as a traitor. The fact that they are calling him a traitor now makes it all the more likely later they'll feel ashamed of their false charges, and then they'll promote him for teachery to glory, honor, and genius. That would be even greater injustice. He's just a good, honest German. They say he's a clever general, said Pierre. I don't know what you mean by a clever general, said Prince Andrei, flashing a smile. A clever general, said Pierre, well, it's somebody who forces every contingency, who can read the enemy's mind. Established? Oh, that's impossible, said Prince Andrei, as if they were a long-established certain tree. Pierre looked at him in surprise. Hang on, he said. They do say war is a little bit playing, like a war is a bit like playing chess, while the other team's playing checkers. Yes, it is, said Prince Andrei. But there's one little difference. In chess, you can take as long as you want and move. You're beyond the limits of time. Oh, there's one difference. A knight is always stronger than a pawn, and two pawns are always stronger than one. Whereas in the war, can sometimes be stronger than a division, and sometimes weaker than company. You can never be sure of the relative strengths of different forces. Believe me, he went on, if anything really depended on what he gets done at a headquarters, I'll be up there with him doing things. But no, I have the honor of serving here in this regiment along with these gentlemen, and I'm convinced that tomorrow's outcome depends on us, not them. Success never will depend on dispositions at arrangements, not even numbers, the position least of all. Well, what does it depend on? The gut feeling inside me and him, he indicated, and every soldier. Prince Andrei glanced across at him. He was staring at his commanding officer in alarm and bemusement. In the contrast to his former silence and reserve, Prince Andrei now seemed to be all worked up. He seemed unable to stop himself, blurting out every thought that he came to his head. A battle is won by the side that is absolutely determined to win. Why did we lose the Battle of Austerlitz? Our casualties were about the same as those French, but Reeve had told herself early in the same as those of the French is absolutely determined to win. And that's the day of the battle that we lost, so it was a loss. And we said that because then we had nothing to fight for. We wanted to get off the battlefield as fast as we could, as all as a loss. So let's run away, and we run away. If we have waited till the evening before saying that, God knows what might have happened. But we shan't be saying that tomorrow. You talk about our positions. The left flank is weak, and the right flank's too spread out. He went on that it's all nonsense, irrelevant. So what is in store for us tomorrow? 100 million contingent factors, and he'll all be determined to and the right flanks to spread out. He went on, that's all nonsense, relevant. So what's in the store for us tomorrow? 100 million configured factors, and they'll be determined by what happens on this day. Who runs away and who's going to run away? Us or them? Who gets killed? One man or another? But what's going on right now? Just fooling about. The point is this: those people who took you round in the positions that don't help things along, they will actually get in the way. They're completely absorbed by their own petty interests. At this time like this, said Pierre, full approach. Yes, at a time like this, repeated Prince Andre. They think this is a good time to get one over in a rival and win themselves another cross or ribbon. The way I see it, tomorrow looks like this: 100,000 Russians and 100,000 Frenchmen have come together to fight, and the fact is, these 200,000 men will fight, and the sides that fight in the hardest spares of itself at least will come out of the top. And if you like, I'll tell you something else. Whatever happens, however much top race mess things up, we shall win tomorrow. Tomorrow, whatever happens, we're gonna win. Yes, sir. It's true. What do you say? Absolutely true. Who spares himself now? The soldiers, in my believe it or not, they refused. Not the right day for it, if they say. Nobody spoke. The officers got to their feet. Prince Andre went to see them out, giving one or two last instructions to the agent. When the officers had gone, Pierre moved up closer to Prince Andre, and he was about to start talking when they heard hoofbeats coming from the three. Prince Andre recognized a Cossack in attendance. They were talking as they rode past, and Pierre and Prince Andre could not help overhearing the following snatches of conversation in German. The war, I must be conducted over a very wide area. This is a policy I cannot endorse highly enough, came over one voice. Yes, indeed, said another, and since our aim is weakened to the enemy of the loss of private individuals must be ignored. Quite so, confirmed the first voice. Conducted over a very wide area. Prince Andre snorted furiously when they had gone. It was in that very wide area that I had a father and a son, and a sister at Bald Hills. Gotta go. He's not bothered about that. It's just what I've seen. These German gentlemen won't win tomorrow. They only mess things up as much as they can because a German head's like a man containing nothing but calculation, so no more useful than a sucked egg. And his heart lacks one thing that's more useful than the sucked egg. For me tomorrow, they've given him the whole of Europe, and they've come over here to give us lessons. Wonderful teachers, he added, his voice rising again to screaming pitch. So what do you think we're gonna win tomorrow? Said Pierre. Chapter 40.